called Elijah Nye, and she is a Lively Hope Foundation person who is really sort of trying to help young people in Africa to get a better life for themselves. So, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, welcome.
I would just want to say a big hello to all the viewers out there. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
It's quite all right. Tell me a little bit about why did you start this foundation yourself, or is it just something you're supporting?
I started it myself.
Okay, and tell us a little bit of why did you start it and what does it do?
Since when I was 15, I used to teach children in the church and Bible lessons.
Okay.
And seeing their struggle, seeing the kids coming to church with the same shoes and torn clothes.
And this is where?
The Gambia.
In the Gambia.
I always said that when I make it to Europe, I'll make sure I start a foundation to help the kids in need. And so when I came here, I started for the past 4 years. I've been working on the charity, trying to work on the constitution and getting it done. And funny enough, many people usually tell me, but you yourself, you need a charity, so why would you help others? And I'm like, I know, but sometimes you don't really have to wait till when you get the money. Sometimes it's just about you speaking out for people to hear the struggle of others, and then people could hear and then be on board to help you out. And that was what motivated me to start it. And that's it.
What was your childhood like then? Do you associate with the children that you're helping now? Was it a tough childhood to sort of?
It was a bit challenging, but nonetheless, at least I was lucky to be raised from I could call it sort of a middle-class family.
Right.
My dad was an accountant. My mom was a qualified teacher, so at least I had the basics. But even with that, there were some hurdles here and there. But when I saw the struggle I had compared to what those kids had, I was way, way, way better off.
Tell me a little bit about what you do in the Gambia, because that's fascinating.
Yeah, currently what we are trying to do in the Gambia, we're trying to promote the idea of getting some bicycles for students that travel far to school. And what brought about this was when I went last year, I worked with a focus group, and I came to realize that most of the students, they have to walk like a long distance to school and back home. Some of them walk like about 5 miles to school, sometimes 4 miles. Imagine a child or a girl or a boy child having to walk to school 5 miles and 5 miles back. And then I felt that was a bit too exhausting for them, because in as much as the charity, A Lively Hope for Children and Youth in Need Foundation, in as much as we want to promote education, that's the main thing we're looking at, I felt we also had to address the challenges that students are facing in terms of getting education as well. And that was one of the challenges that I discovered when I went to the Gambia. And we actually have a documentary that's on our website. If you have time to check it, you'll see. And there was a girl called Berta. She was a living example of one of the students that we had to go to their house to actually experience the distance she walked to school. And we came to realize that it was quite a long distance. She checked the video, she's 10 years old, and she had to walk a long way to school. And Berta is not the only child that walks that distance to school. You have students coming from all the way from Sanyang, some from Mediana, King Isabel. You have many students coming from different Fala and different villages that come to Kunkujang Mariama village, which is sort of a center for many of the other small villages to attend a particular school that is called St. Francis School. So then the idea came up to say, you know what, we're going to handle this issue by actually producing the bicycle. So when you look at the challenges, one is the distance. Two, you also look at issue in terms of the fact that it's so exhausting. You don't expect something so much from a student that walks 5 miles to school and 5 miles home. When they reach school, they're exhausted. When I was there, I saw some students running to school late when almost first lesson was already gone. So then I said to myself, how do you expect that child to perform well in school when they're already tired? And then when you look at the girl child, when they wake up in the morning, they have to do some chores, not like here, whereas you have the kids, they're so comfortable, everything is just sweet and nice. But back then, the Gambia, trust me, the kids have to wash the plates, they have to go and fetch water from the well to take shower, they have to sweep the compound, some of the boys have to go and get firewood, they have to do a lot in the morning before going to school. And then by the time they walk that distance to school, trust me, one of the kids, we gave them a ride when we were taking the items we took to donate. And I myself, when I saw the distance, I was like saying to myself, oh no, if I was the one in that girl's situation, I wouldn't go to school. I wouldn't walk that distance because it was so long. The distance was so far that I started crying when I saw the pain they had to go through. And then apart from the fact that they have to walk the long distance, I was also particular about the girl child because the boys, at least, they'll just wake up and then they do a few things and then go. But for the girl child, they have to do so much. And some of them, they're in afternoon shift because you have 2 shifts. Some go to school in the morning, and because of space, some go to school in the afternoon that starts at 2 and they finish at 6. So imagine your daughter finishing at 6, an 8-year-old girl or a 7-year-old, having to walk back home in a lonely road that is so unsafe, because I was there and I was privileged to speak to some of the students that were actually being harassed. And if you check the video,
they get harassed.
They get harassed sometimes. They get harassed. And some of them, they're so scared of going alone that the school had to kind of come up with an idea to say, you know what, we're going to make these students to work in groups so that in case a man comes in to harass one of them, the others can run to call for the neighbors. And the houses are so far from the road, so even if you're going to ask for help, it's just going to take forever for you to get help. And that was really what pushed me, because I said, it's just so unfair if these young girls are trying to get educated to change their own situation, coming from a very poor family. You know, some of them, they barely have 2 meals a day. Some of them have 1 meal a day. And then all they're trying to do is to change their current situation to be better enough. And then here comes people that will just come by the way and just abuse the fact that these kids are all by themselves walking on that lonely road. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to promote this current project, which is Operation Donate a Bicycle. So currently, that was brought about the idea of this bicycle, to say it's not just about the distance, but also the fact that it's going to save them time, it's going to make the kids to reach to school on time, and in that way, they're energetic, they're able to pay attention in class, they're able to listen to what is being taught. I know many will say, oh, but that's just one aspect. Yes, in the Gambia, we have so many issues that needs to be looked into. But for now, I just felt the charity is a small charity that is just coming up, so we just want to kind of take things one step at a time, because there are quite a lot of aspects we'll be looking at in the long run. So
for instance, like what? What else?
We're looking at sort of getting the feeding program. We're looking at, because we felt that the kids cannot go to school with an empty stomach, of course, because if you're saying you're going to try to promote education, you have to understand the basic essentials is essential. They have to have a good shelter, they have to have something to eat and what to wear for them to sit in the class to listen to whatever is being taught. And then we're looking at, currently, the next thing we're looking at is starting a skill center, because we felt that it's one thing for them to have the bicycle, it's another thing to maintain it. Because when I was doing my master's program, I did a business plan for this charity, because our lecturer said to us, that our professor said to us, you have to go for something that you know you want to pursue. So this has been my passion ever since I was 15. So I said I was going to go for it. So my project was mainly for the charity that I wanted to do. And when I was doing the research, I realized that many other charities started doing different things in the Gambia. But it's one thing to start it. Many of them, they will start at some point, they couldn't continue it, because maintaining is another issue. So I said, okay, now my own case, in order to maintain the bicycle, it's one thing to provide it, but I just want to make sure that we'll have a skill center that will promote the idea of teaching the kids how to repair the bicycle. So that means when we send the bicycles, when they're being spoiled, you also have kids who can fix the bicycle as well. So they will fix it to be able to continue using it.
Great.
There's one other thing I'd like to ask.
Because we've got about 30 seconds left. How do we contact you, and how can people contact you?
All right, if anyone wants to donate to help out with the bicycle, you can check our website. It's A Lively Hope Foundation, A Lively Hope for Children and Youth in Need Foundation. And we're also on Facebook, we're also on Twitter, we're also on LinkedIn and Instagram as well.
It's all called the same name?
The same name, A Lively Hope Foundation for Children and Youth in Need. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
And you need to come back on the show again.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to, really. Yeah. I would love to. And the kids cannot wait for the bicycle, because it's going to take them a long, long way. If you're watching this program, just remember, the Gambian children, they need you. They're waiting for this bicycle, and they can't wait to get it.
Excellent.
Bye.
An excellent ambassador. Okay, so we're now going to have another short break, and then we're going to bring on a legend.
Certainly are. I can't wait to interview him.